Hello, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Emmanuel. In today's video we'll be learning how to use the place geometry manager. Before we take a step into the tutorial, make sure you smash the like button, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the video. Okay, I have the program set up, so we'll just click off from here. So what's the place manager? The place manager, what does it help you to do? Because of course we want to use it as a manager for our widget, and what it helps you to do is it helps to position your widget precisely where you want it to be within a container. So inside we can be inside a frame, or for example in this case root. So you use it to position your elements, or your widget rather, using x and y coordinates. Okay, maybe this is beginning to sound like a geography class, but that's not what it is. So we're just going to start off with just creating the layout. And by the way, the place management is a simple one and is rarely used, so we're going to see why. But before that, we position our widget absolutely or relatively using the place. So you can just position your widget, that's either absolutely or relatively. Now the HTML and CSS users probably know what I'm talking about, so let's get into it. Now we have a label of this. All you have to do is just do dot place, and then we're going to do dot place. You can position either absolutely or relatively. So absolutely makes use of x and y. Now if I do x, so I have to give it a position. So if I give it 20 and I say I want my y to be 50, so you see what that looks like. If I do Ctrl B, now we can't see our I because we haven't given it a position yet. We haven't positioned it, but as of this one now, it offsets 80 from the x, from the left, offset 80. So this is 0 0 here. This is 0.00 at the top left corner of this window here. Okay, when I say 20, x equals 20, it moves 20 from the top edge, from the top corner here. And then when I say y equals 50, okay, this is 20 from the top corner here, and when I say y equals 50, it moves down 50. That's why we have our element starting here and then ends here. Okay, so this is x equals 20 and y equals 50 up here. Now that's how you place using for the absolute placement. Okay, but when it comes to relative placement, we just make use of what we call rel x and then rel y. So relatively, now you see the difference between the both. Now how I'm going to give, I'm just going to give this one 0.5 and just 0.2. So if I do Ctrl B, now you see we have I here, but let me show what the difference between both. If I expand, you can see this one moves relatively to the window. So this one is always going to be 0.5 and then 0.2. As you can see, this is like almost at the center of the window. Cool. We also have arguments that enables you to set the width and height of your widget either relatively or absolutely. So if you're going to be doing it absolutely, then you're going to be using your normal width and height. Okay, you can do the same thing. The funny thing is you can mix this together. You can have your rel x and still have x in here, and you can have your width, and we'll talk about the rel width. So for absolute width or height, you're gonna be using the normal ones we know. So for example, just width of 50 and height of 50. So I do Ctrl B, you see this is what we have. But for the relative height and width, so this is rel width, let's give it 2, and then rel height, let's give it 3. Now this is 179 characters. Let's move up here, bring that down, and we bring this down as well. So if I do Ctrl B, as you can see, I even tried to give it a really small number and see rel width and rel height. See that? Okay, so I'm just gonna change this to 0.5 and then maybe 0.2. So I do Ctrl B, as you can see, it is relative. So let's take that part. As you can see, so you can try mixing them together as I said earlier and see how that works. And the argument we can pass is the anchor argument. It helps you to choose the exact position you want to place it in. Okay, so in this case, if I just do anchor, the default, I think the default is tk dot not west. That's anchor.tk dot not, okay, dot not west. If I do Ctrl B, you see it still maintains its position. Okay, if I do dot, it takes the cardinal point as the argument, by the way. So if I do northeast, Ctrl B, you see it changes position. This is so the northeast is what we have on the coordinates, what we have on the northeast. Okay, you can change it to north as well. Ctrl B, we have the coordinates on at the north, and that's how that one works. Coordinates you're anchoring the position of the elements to go coordinate kind of. Okay, so don't get confused with that. So there isn't much about this. As I said earlier, it's simple but rarely used. Now we're going to talk about some other configurations. Oh my goodness, let me change this to a button. Okay, I just want to show you something. Of course, I don't have to do this button. I already control B. Okay, button doesn't have background, of course. Let me just select this and hit control D to select that as well, and just select. Okay, that didn't quite work as I expected it to. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up here, just put that there. Okay, that's good, that's all right. Okay, don't let me waste time on arranging the code. Let me show you that we're gonna put commands here. I'm gonna do command equals to F1, then this one is gonna be command equals to F2. Now I'm gonna define these functions up here. Define F1, so we're gonna come here, then we're gonna define F2. That's quite slow. Anyway, now the first one we're going to talk about is the other configurations. Is we have the place info, just like we have grid info. We have place info, we have place forget, we have place slaves. So these are the ones I'm going to talking about. There isn't much actually, so I'm going to come here. Now whenever we click on the first button, what I want this to do is to print the place info. Okay, so I'm going to do should I put this in a widget? Okay, let me put it in a variable rather. So I'm gonna do hello btn. Of course, remember, as always, that's gonna return a not type, so you have to bring it down here. So I'm gonna do print hello btn dot place. Now it's place info, not grid info. So if I do control B, whenever I click on that, says invalid syntax. Okay, the place, what's the problem? Okay, we have this here, this is all right. Hello btn the place with height. Okay, so it's because of the slash we had in front here. Okay, I was right. Now, okay, the buttons look a little bit messed up, but whenever I click on this, you can see the info we have here. We have x20, just like we set it up here. We have the width, the height, the rel height. As you can see, you can add rel height, you can add anchor. We also have border mode. Okay, I didn't even talk about that one. Nothing fancy. We have place, that's the place info, and this is the widget inside the root widget. So this is it here in of this. Now if I click on it again, I want to forget. So you probably know this one if you watch the grid, you know what it does. I want to do hello dot place. Instead of place info, I'm going to do place forget. Okay, I don't have to print that. It doesn't print anything. Okay, just gonna return a none. Control B. Now if I click on it, it forgets the elements, so we don't have the element anymore. Now for the next one, now unlike the grid, you cannot remember. Okay, you cannot do the place to bring any element back. So if I do F2, oh sorry, I have F2 defined already. So now if I do, I'm clicking F2, if I do hello btn dot place, control B, if I forget and I try placing, you see it doesn't come back. Okay, but you can bring it back as a grid element or whatever. Now we also have the place slave. So whenever I do that, what I'll do here is I'm gonna print now. Oh my goodness, so I talked about how widgets relates to master and slave. So your container is going to be like a master, so all the widgets inside it, which are going to be like the slaves. Now to get all these place elements, this place widgets managed by the place manager, we're going to do root dot place slaves, just like we have grid slaves. Now if I do control B, when I click on this other button, the I, as you can see, these are the two elements inside the root. Okay, and I think that's the only ones, these are the only ones I'm talking about. And by the way, you can, instead of using the configure we saw in one of our other videos, so you can do hello button dot, okay, let me do it here. So let me put this in a variable. I'm going to do ibtn. Now I'm going to remove all of this from here. Control X. Just want to show you. So I'm going to do ibtn. Now instead of putting all your stuff in there, we can just do dot place configure. So if I do this and I paste that there and I do Ctrl B, you see we still have pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna cancel that. Now unlike the grid and path manager, you can mix the place manager with other geometry managers. But as I said earlier, you rarely use it except once you use it in an app that allows users to precisely position their elements, widgets, or so kind of drag and drop stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, then you should give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out my next episode content. Thanks up guys. Peace out.